Hello and welcome to Katrinas Creations. This is our Saturday edition, and if you missed yesterday's video, I'll give you a real quick recap on my husband, who is recovering from a stroke a couple weeks ago. He did come home on Tuesday and he's doing very well. He's actually wandering around over there, but yeah, he's doing well, and we went out for a little while today and went out to dinner, so it was his first outing after coming home, other than going to the doctors and to therapy. But yeah, he's doing real good. Things are getting semi back to normal at this point, so I do appreciate all of the thoughts and prayers you guys have sent in the comments and sending me emails and stuff. It really has meant a lot, so just want to say a special thank you to all of you for that. Now let's get to my projects. I got a long ways on my sweater today, or this week. So I think last week I was just finishing the front. I have now finished, I'm dropping half of the yarn. I have now finished the front and the back. This is the dragonfly pullover, and it has this lace detail at the bottom. I am using a combination of 3 yarns, and not only did I get the front and the back done, I have a partial sleeve and another partial sleeve. Now the pattern called for 3/4 length sleeves, and they actually have you sewing or knitting the sleeves flat separately and then attaching them to the body. I don't like to do it that way because I like to get a very good idea how long my sleeves are supposed to be. So I changed the pattern at this point and I attached my sleeves. I just picked up stitches and I started, and I don't know how noticeable it is. It really is not that noticeable, but 2 of the yarns that I'm using, okay, this, I forget what it was, Serafina, something like that. It was a company that went out of business. I had 2 skeins, and then I had a 3rd skein of yarn from another company that is almost identical. I am going to hold this up and see if you can see where the color change is. It is so close. I will tell you, if you look really, really close, you'll see some green in this section, but there's a little bit more green right in here. That is the only difference. Otherwise, you would never know looking at it where I added the yarn. So I saved a little bit here so that this sleeve I could also begin in the old color and then change over to the new. So again, you really cannot see where the difference is. So I have some of this left. This is going to be cutting it close sleeve wise. I am going to be playing what they call yarn chicken, hoping I don't run out of yarn before I finish. I'm doing both sleeves short sleeved at this point and just tying them off, and then I'm going to do the neckline because it's a ribbed neck, and then I'll go back, and what I have left I will divide evenly between the sleeves. So once I get this sleeve the same size as this sleeve, and this is a dropped shoulder, so this is about to my elbow at this point because my shoulder is actually about here. So it's a drop shoulder of about 2 inches. So yeah, to make sure I have enough yarn for the neck and then enough to do however length I end up with the sleeve. So that's the plan for this. So I'm hoping to get this finished this week. I don't know if that'll happen or not, but I'm hoping to. So that's project 1. Project number 2 is my moss stitch blanket, which the pattern I got this from is called the Fairmount blanket by Crochet Village. It's basically a moss stitch blanket. So I will show you where I was last week and where I am now. So here's where I was last week, and I have gone up. I've almost doubled the length. Now this is not a real wide blanket. The pattern is actually for a baby blanket, but I have a chair in my living room that I sit on all the time, and it has a lot of white in it, so I tend to keep it covered with an Afghan of some kind and then sit on that because I don't want it to get stained, because it's not like a slip cushion or a slip slip cover or anything that I can wash. So this is just about the right width. It's maybe a little bit too wide, but I'm thinking this is going to be perfect to lay over top of that chair, because the chair is actually blue and white and tan striped. So I think this is going to work out well for it. The thing I'm dreading with this, I like doing this moss stitch, but it does take a long time because it's basically single crochet chain stitch. You have a lot of pesky ends to have to weave in all the time. And yeah, I have woven in some. It's like I go a few inches and I weave them in so it's not too overwhelming when I finish. Apparently moss stitch is really popular right now because two of our viewers, Janet and Sarah May, are both doing things with moss stitch. One is making, Janet's making a moss stitch shawl, and Sarah is making a moss stitch blanket as well. So apparently it's really popular right now. The colors I am using for this are some Knit Picks palette yarn. I have 3 of each of these skeins. I'm still on the first one. So this is just the white. This one's called Cumulus. This was called Ciel or CL. And this is Delta. So those are the 4 colors I'm using, which is why I can't just carry the colors up the side and not have to weave them in. If I was just doing 2 colors, I could do that, but because I'm doing 4, I am having to weave in a bunch of ends. And speaking of weaving in ends, on this sweater, I will insert a clip. There was tons of ends along the neck to weave in because this is 3 colors. Yeah, and it's kind of striped. I had lots of ends to weave in here and all the way down the sleeve. So it took me 2 evenings just weaving in ends, but I'll insert the picture so you can see it. So look at all the ends I have to weave in, and that's just this side. On the other side, I have just as many on the sleeves and on the back of the neck too, because it's striped. I have a lot to weave in, but I'm working my way through it. So it is inside out right now while I get the ends woven. But yeah, I think I'm going to be busy for a day or 2 here. Well, so it has taken me 2 evenings to do all of the ends, getting them all woven across the neck and both arms. So now I'm getting ready to pick up the stitches and start the sleeves. But look at all the ends. Each one of those was something woven in. So there's like probably 100 or more ends. So yeah, but it's done, and now on to the sleeves. So that's what I've been working on this week. We have a really good show and tell section today, so sit back with your cup of tea or coffee and enjoy. If you'd like to participate in the show and tell section, it is open to everybody. You can send a picture and a little bit about what you're making to KatrinasCreations@yahoo.com, or you can post over on my Facebook page, which is Katrina Knits. Either way will get it into the show and tell. And if you can get it to me by Friday afternoon, that's usually the best because I film Friday evening for Saturday. If you're enjoying this video so far, please consider subscribing. Click that little red button down below. And if you give me a thumbs up, I really appreciate it. We are 25 viewers away from hitting our next 100 subscribers, which means when we hit that, we will be doing another yarn giveaway. So yeah, if you haven't already, please join our little crafty bunch. So if you missed yesterday's video, you can click the link right here. That'll take you over to it. But I went in and did a little damage in Hobby Lobby this week, or this past week. So I'll just give you a real quick recap. Say that fast 3 times. Real quick recap of what I bought. If you want to see the full thing, check out the video. But I bought 3 skeins. This is, I love this yarn. It is 100% acrylic. And these each have 252 yards per skein. And this particular color is called Surf's Up. These are my living room colors. And these are all 3 going to turn into Afghans that are washable to put on beds and things when grandkids come to spend the night. The other one is just a plain solid blue, and this is Crafter's Secret Big Idea. This is 1 pound of yarn, and there are 810 yards in the skein, and this color is called Soft Blue. And then this one is my favorite because it just reminds me of a country rag rug. And here it is here. This is again the I love this yarn, and this particular color, it's the same yardage as the other one. This particular color, and I thought it was weird, Beret Day. I don't know where they get Beret Day, but there's what it looks like. To me, it looks like colors you'd see in a quilt or in a braided rag rug. So this one's my favorite out of all of them. So I am going to make this one first. And I think I'm going to make it with like maybe a more traditional pattern, since it kind of reminds me of something country. I might do something like a big granny square, or granny rectangle actually, or a granny stripe, something like that, more traditional with this one. So now it's time for, now this section of the video is where I announce any of the yarn sales that I am aware of. I am an affiliate for, I'm getting my cheat sheet. I am an affiliate for these links, so if you do buy through those links, I do get a small commission out of it, which helps support the channel. So the links to all of these sales are down below the description box. Just click the bold word more and it all opens up alphabetically. So the first one that I know about is Knit Picks. Knit Picks has a yarn I have not heard of before. I don't know if it's brand new, but it's called Static Yarn. Let me try that again. Static Sock Yarn. I try not to have my things static, but anyway, that's the name of it. It is Static Sock Yarn. It is 30% off right now, and the colors of the yarn are inspired by retro TV shows. So that could be interesting. I didn't look at it real close, but yeah, interesting. Wonder what TV shows. Anyway, next we have Mary Maxim. They are offering 25% off of their knit and crochet kits. Lion Brand, they are buy more, save more. So if you buy 3 or more skeins or balls of yarn, you get 25% off. If you buy 6 or more balls of yarn, you get 30% off. And if you buy 9 or more balls or skeins of yarn, you get 35% off. So that is Lion Brand. And then lastly, there is Lovecrafts, and Lovecrafts has up to 40% off selected Debbie Bliss yarns. So Yeah, those are the sales that I know about. If I run across any other ones, I do post them in short little couple second videos that are yellow with black writing if I run across a flash yarn sale, because we all like yarn sales. Apparently I like them a little too much, but anyway, we can't have too much yarn. So that is it for today's segment. I hope you all have a wonderful, happy Mother's Day, and I will see you again on Friday, and I'm not sure what the video will be about yet, so we'll all be surprised together. So thanks for watching, and I will see you then. Bye, everybody.